is Nurse Gigi with another video. Okay, so before you start watching, let's pause, and I want you to like the video. I want you to subscribe. I want you to hit the bell notification so you can know when my newest videos are coming out. As well, after watching this, I want you to comment below to let me know what you thought, and you can share it if you're feeling cute. Okay, so guys, this video is all about how to study. So, how to study when you are in undergrad, how to study when you are doing a master's program, just how to study in general, how I study. And we're going to say how you study during nursing school because I'm a nurse and a nurse practitioner. Okay, so during RN school, so before RN school, I did undergrad. So I had a degree in biology pre-med. Then I got a master's in biomedical sciences. Then I went to RN school. So I kind of already had a handle of how to study, but you're still always learning different ways of what kind of study you are. So that's the first thing. Learn what kind of studier you are, because some people are visual, where they have to see the words, they have to draw out diagrams, they can see pictures and they learn from pictures and stuff like that. Some people are auditory, where they can sit and they can record the lecture and then they can listen to it and they will understand it and go from there. Some people are oral learners, where they can like talk it out and stuff like that. So it just kind of depends on what kind of learner you are. And once you learn what kind of learner you are, you can learn better, learn more effectively and stuff like that. With me, I learn in different type of ways. Really with me is I learn by repetition. So that means that I have to constantly look at the information, and that's when it starts sinking in. So some people can read the information and be done with it and like, oh, okay, I got it. No, I have to read it like 3 times, and then after I read it, I have to like teach it to someone. So they always say when you're able to teach someone what you learned, then you're good for the test. So I always would come in there with my dry erase board, and also too, notes. I take a lot of notes. Like when I'm listening to a lecture, I can't just listen to them because my mind's going to wander. So I'm like having to take notes when they're talking, because that's one way I was able to keep focus. There was another way is where I'm hearing it, and then like I'm writing it, and then I'm looking at it as well. So that's 3 different ways of me getting the information already right there. Hearing it, writing it, seeing it. So that helped me out a lot with studying. Then, I get my dry erase board once I felt like I got the concept. And if I had a classmate with me studying, oh, I'm about to teach you this. So I'm about to go through all this. I'm about to teach you this. And they ask me questions. And if I could answer their questions, then I knew I was good for the test. So that definitely is one of the biggest things, is just knowing how you study, learning what kind of learner you are. And if that's the way you learn, that's how you're gonna have to study. So the next thing of studying is always looking at the chapter objectives. The teachers always say this to us, but it's like we never do it, because we start studying and we get stuck on one part, and then we get anxiety about it, and then we're freaking out, and then we're going on down this rabbit hole of just like, oh no, I'm gonna fail. No, don't do that. Look at the objectives, look at the keywords, look at the words that are outlined, bolded out and stuff like that. And also look at the concepts. You're not always trying to you're not trying to do remote memorization in nursing school. You're trying to understand the concepts, learn the concepts of things, and go from there. So, a lot of you have to try to stop trying to cram remote memorization, because that's not going to work unless you have like a photographic memory. That's the only way memorization works. So you're making sure you look through the chapter objectives. You're looking at the keywords, the words that are outlined with bold and black, and what concept are they trying to get across. The next thing you can do is have a study group. Now, study groups work and sometimes they don't work. In my case, the only time a study group worked is if I had group members who were true to the game, who were there to study, first of all, who studied before the study group and had something to put to some input to put in, and who we can bounce questions off of each other. So that's how a study group to me was successful, and that's how I was successful in nursing school when I did study with a study group, is if they had all those key elements. Because if not, you're wasting your time. You're going to end up talking, playing, laughing, watching TV, and not studying, which has happened many a times. I've been in school long enough to have gone through the study groups where study groups went from studying to we partying. Okay, so stay away from those study groups, okay? The next thing is talking to your teachers. And so when I say talk to your teachers, you're going to want to go to your teacher and you're going to want to ask the teacher, how would you study for this test? Or what should I focus on this test? It's nothing to it. I mean, if you have a program where your professors are truly there to help you and see you through the program, this should not be a problem. This is not like this is cheating or anything like that. What they're basically doing is they're basically like propelling you and pushing you towards what is more so beneficial, because on a lot of these tests, it's a lot of content and a lot of stuff that is kind of like, okay, let me get to the meat of this. So that's basically like eliminating what's not important and just highlighting what's important. What do you need to look for? What is going, what do I need? What concept do I need to pull out of this? Or, what do I need to grasp? Because basically nursing, we're thinking airway, breathing, circulation. Basically what we're trying to do, we're trying to learn the body systems and learn how to be a good nurse, but what's going to keep the patient alive? Make sure we have the oxygen on, make sure this person has good breathing, making sure, in surgery, like after surgery, make sure something is not hot, something's not swollen, something's not bleeding. You're trying to make sure, and a lot of times you're thinking like, oh, that sounds like common sense stuff. It is. We just overthink stuff. So definitely going to that professor and just kind of helping them propel you and get you on a kind of, the right, getting you on the right pathway of how to study for that test. Okay. And then just good studying habits. Don't try to cram. It's hard not to cram because, nursing school is really busy. You already have a life. Some of you have kids, some of you are going to have jobs, families, relationships, things of that nature. So, you also have lives. So, you do have to have your life as well, because you can't just overwhelm yourself and only in school and studying. So what you're going to have to learn is, when are you going to study? So you make that study schedule, you stick to that study schedule. Have good study habits, like study in well-lit rooms. If you can't study at home because the TV is always on, go to the library and study. If study groups is your thing, then you cultivate a study group and you all know when to meet up. Okay, we're going to dedicate 3 good hours to studying, and then that last hour we can talk about current events, we can relax, chill out, go get something to eat, something like that. Not studying in bed in the pajamas, because you're going to go to sleep. So you want to have that good lighting, you want to be sitting up, preferably with a desk. You want to have, if you're tired, you may want to do caffeine if you're not really into the caffeine. Do your teas, things like that. So those are some of the things that helped me out with, studying for nursing school, and even in my nurse practitioner program. Nurse practitioner program was a little bit different because it was all online except for the clinical aspect. So I had already had, some of my study skills with me. But that on top of, talking with my teachers and utilizing different study guides and study methods that they had, and that helped me out a lot. And also you can always you know, do a Google search. How to study effectively. That always helps. Or you can go on YouTube and see me, and I can tell you these tips if you need some tips for studying. So guys, that basically is are my tips for studying. That's with undergrad in nursing school, or grad as far as master's programs and beyond. You know, no subject is ever too hard. You always just have to, and don't never say, oh my God, this is too daunting, this is too hard. No, there are always ways to get around those things. There are also many websites that you can visit about, you know, how to study, or even that specific topic. You know, your books, they always have, like, if you look on like the beginning pages, even sometimes on a hardback book, they'll have a code where you can do like questions and stuff like that, or their websites where they can break stuff down even more. So utilize that as well. Some people also talk about like using different websites like Quizlet and stuff like that, which I did as well. I utilized some of those nursing websites, and it helped break down a lot of things. So, you know, I utilize like the internet, as well as my books, my teachers, my classmates, and stuff like that. And then, you know, also pay attention to that, the rubric in the beginning, when they talk about what different books that you can use or require for the course. Get those not required books. Get your required books, of course, but also suggested books. Those suggested books help out a lot, especially like the pocket, like medicine guide books, and like medical terminology books, and books are just aiding in like the med surge and the psych med and pediatrics and women's health. A lot of those kind of books, they help you and aid you in studying and stuff like that, because they have a lot of resources that, or extended resources that the book doesn't have. They put it in more casual terminology and verbiage, and it's usually an easier read. So definitely utilize those things. I mean, you know, if you guys have any questions, if you all in nursing school, if you're studying, if you're in undergrad, if you're in nurse practitioner school, and you have any additional questions about studying, drop me a comment. I'm never too busy to answer. You know, right now I'm actually studying for my boards, for the nurse practitioner board, and I'm utilizing basically all that you know, I'm telling you guys, except for the fact that, you know, right now I don't have the teachers because I'm done with school and stuff. So board tests are different. But, you know, I'm utilizing the study habits that I have. So, like, comment, subscribe, share. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time. Mwah!